Resume recording. And you are being recorded. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. If you have not gotten the workbook yet, there's a link shared in the chat. Leanne can share it again if you need it. If you haven't gotten it already, just mention it in the chat so that you can get a link that will be emailed to you and you can download it, okay? So before we start, I think it's time for some funnies. Okay, so let's get started with a couple of funnies first. Now, first one, time to work out. Where? Damn it, Jim. How many of you are Star Trek fans and remember that? He was always saying, damn it, Jim. Yeah, me too. Cracked me up every time. And here's a little bit of a seasonal one. It doesn't matter what other people think. The important thing is that you believe in yourself. A little funny for Santa Claus. And here's another one. Head cold, sore throat, anything else? Yes, I'm a little hoarse. That one cracks me up. I probably should have had you unmuted for the funny so I could hear you laugh. All right, and here's the best one. Frosty gets caught picking his nose. Yep. All right. So it's always good to get everyone laughing, smiling, and just a little upbeat with some funnies. So first, we're going to be going over unleash the power of goal setting. Then we're going to move into release the brakes. When I think it was, 2013 was the year when my life reached the bottom. It was one of the worst years of my life. I was renting a room from a friend. I was in the middle of a divorce. I was having all kinds of financial challenges. I was just basically flat out broke, trying to figure out what on earth did I need to do to fix my life. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to set some goals this year. I had never set goals before. And I sat down and I wrote out 17 specific goals or things that I wanted to accomplish in the coming year for 2013, or was it 2014? It was New Year's Eve that I did this. And I have to say that that year was the most incredible year for me. Everything changed. Everything changed because I took the time to sit down and write out goals. And I did work on releasing my own brakes as well. I started to look for proof that things were working for me. I started to affirm what I wanted. I worded everything in the positive, and it made a huge difference. And so since then, I have been a tremendous fan of goal setting. And you might even say goal getting, because setting the goals is just one thing, but going after them and taking the baby steps it takes to create your goals, it has become such a satisfying endeavor that I create time for it multiple times a year just to check in and see how they're going. Is this really what I want still? And I get to share this process with you today. Okay, so let's begin. Setting goals activates both the conscious and the subconscious mind to figure out what needs to happen to make the goal a reality. Assigning each goal a clear deadline also activates the law of attraction, and you will begin to attract the resources necessary to accomplish the goal. High achievers set goals, and they proactively pursue the achievement of these goals. So setting goals is a powerful way to take 100% responsibility for your life and achieve greater success as well. So for those of you who were at the free webinar last month, remember what we went over about taking 100% responsibility for your life. That's really important, especially remember the can'ts and turning them into won'ts. I wonder how everyone's done with that. Now, Once you determine your vision and clarify your true needs and desires, you have to convert them into specific, measurable goals and objectives and act on them with the certainty that you will achieve them. Experts on the science of success know the brain is a goal-seeking organism. So whatever goal you give to your subconscious mind, it will work night and day to achieve. So you want to set measurable objectives for each part of that vision. And we're going to do some work on the vision in a bit. High achievers set high goals. But why is it that some people don't set goals at all? And I wondered about this. Why was it that I didn't set goals until 2013? And there are some possible reasons, like their parents or teachers never modeled how to set goals. They're not taught in school. They were possibly discouraged or teased when they set them. They were never given instructions on how to set goals. There's a fear of rejection, a fear of failure. So I want you to put some of the reasons why you might not have set goals in the past in the chat. Just feel free to type in whatever it is that maybe stopped you in the past from setting goals. Fear of rejection and fear of failure were some big ones for me. Because if you never declared a goal and you didn't say that you were going to do something, you couldn't be rejected. You couldn't be a failure. Thank you, Leanne. So it was never modeled for you. And they never worked. Okay, Sherry. So I'll be really interested in how this process works for you today when you learn some specific strategies for setting goals. And Jennifer, overwhelmed by goals already, not accomplished. Got it. Okay. Natasha, didn't know about it. I kind of think there was a part of me that didn't know about it as well, Natasha. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Now, so let's think about components for setting effective goals. First, one component of setting effective goals is it is specific and measurable. 2 is that it's believable to you. And 3, and I think 3 is one of the most important points, is that it has a time limit. How much and by when? If we leave our goals open-ended, we might never achieve them. So this time limit is possibly what is the scariest part to do, especially if you have a fear of failure and not accomplishing your goals. But when you keep it open, you pretty much guarantee you won't accomplish it. So the following are some tips for how to supercharge your goal into reality. Let me get there we go. Visualization. Visualization keeps a goal top of mind and engages the subconscious to create solutions. You can use affirmations. Present tense affirmations help create a clear and specific image of the desired results. Repetition, written down and posted where you can see and review regularly. Sharing. By sharing goals, you clarify your vision and state it openly, often attracting support from others, support from areas you didn't even expect. Now, considerations. Internal and external fears, considerations, and roadblocks are acknowledged and accepted as a natural part of the journey. It doesn't mean that you've chosen the wrong goal or you're not meant to get there. This is just a natural part of the journey and the growth of who you become as you pursue your goals. Your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other thing. Abraham Lincoln. It's a really great quote. Now let's discuss the 2 types of goals, process goals and results goals. A results goal is the end result of what you want to achieve. And a process goal is what you will do to get to your results goal. So for example, say your results goal is to weigh 140 pounds by 5 p.m. on December 31st, 2022. A process goal to get to that results goal could be I will exercise a minimum of 1 hour a day, 5 times a week. I will follow a 1,500 calorie meal plan for 6 days a week with one cheat day each week. Now, we're going to learn how to set effective goals. First thing we're going to do is set a measurable goal for one of the areas of our life. Now, actually, before we do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. We want to do a little work on creating a vision for ourselves. So, in your workbook on page 4, if you turn to that, and you can type in your workbook. And if you don't have the workbook yet, Leanne can put that link in the chat. So just let me know. Okay, thank you, Leanne. So you'll get that workbook in your email if you sign up through that link. And that book you can download and you can type in it. So one thing that we want to do first is set a vision for these areas of our life. Now, there are 7 main areas. You've got your financial area, income, debt reduction, investment, net worth. Then there's the second area is business, profession, career. 3 is fun time, recreation, sports, hobbies, travel. 4 is health, fitness, physical. That could also be your appearance. 5 is relationships, family, friends, business. 6 is person, project, learning, purchases. So I think of that as self-development. And then 7 is contribution, service, community, just something greater than you. How do you want to contribute? So we're going to spend about 30 seconds per area. And what I'd like you to do is just jot down a couple of bullet points on how these areas would be if they were most ideal for you. So we're not going to spend a lot of time here. Just like I said, just 30 seconds, but just put a couple of bullet points for what would be most ideal for you. And when these areas are working just the way you want them in your life. So start now with section 1. You've got 30 seconds to just put a few bullet points there on what life is like when it's functioning in the most ideal in that financial quadrant for you. Okay, so it's going to go quick. Now go to the second one. You have another 30 seconds. So just 2 or 3 bullet points of what the most ideal things are going to be like for you when that area is just working the way you want it to. Okay, and now you can switch to the third one, fun time, recreation, sports, hobbies, travel. And another 30 seconds there. Okay, now you can go on to number 4, health, fitness, physical appearance, just 2 or 3 bullet points of what life would be like when this is ideal for you. And move to 5, relationships, family, friends. business. And that would be your relationship with your business. Okay, and now number 6. So this is what I think of as personal growth. So what is a project? Something you want to learn, something you want to buy for yourself, something you might want to develop. All right, and then number 7, last one, is what contribution do you want to make? Is there a service you want to provide, something you want to do in the community, a legacy you want to leave, something you want to be known for? Just 2 or 3 bullet points. Then we'll be using these to create some goals. Okay, so now, very good, everybody. The first thing we're going to do is set a measurable goal for, let's do the health area of our life. Okay. And now in your vision exercise that we just did, or it's an abbreviated vision exercise, you wrote down a few bullet points for how you want, what you want to be like in this goal. When this area of your life is working most ideal for you, you have a couple of bullet points that you wrote down. So in a moment, I'm going to invite you to write down your goal in a way that is measurable, so that if someone outside were observing you, they would know if you had accomplished the goal or not. So a goal is short and specific and measurable, and it has a time limit or a date by when. So you can see like there's 2 types of people here. I'd like a winter home. And that's kind of, a dream. It's very vague, and vague goals produce vague results. And then here's a specific one. I will own a 2-bedroom beachfront villa on the west coast of Maui, Hawaii by January 1, 2023 at noon. Okay. So now you've also probably got some idea about whether in your vision, you're going to have a results goal and a process goal. Okay. So you can look at what you put in your vision, what might be the end result, and then what could be a process goal to get to it like that. So once again, for example, a results goal is complete a 5K race in under 40 minutes by the end of this calendar year. Process goal, walk, run at least 3 miles 4 times a week until race day. All right. So now you can go to your worksheet. Let's see which page we're going to go to in there. So you'll see on page 7, we have my vision and goals. And some of this you can fill in later. You can create a 1-year vision. So just type in health for that life area. And you've got goals. Second box is where you're going to fill out your goal. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to fill out your goals, and then we'll see how we did and if we can tweak them and make them more specific, measurable. Who would be willing to share their goal? You could put it in the chat, and if everyone wants to share, you could all put it in the chat and we'll go through it and we'll look and see, is it specific? Is it measurable? Okay. So Natasha, yours is not measurable. What would make it measurable? Who else would like to share a goal? Feel free to just type your goals in the chat, because we can all use a little practice knowing what makes them measurable, creating a time-bound goal. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so Natasha has, I will be energetic, relaxed, and pain-free. Okay, so we got some more coming in. So Natasha, in order to make it measurable, is there something that you would do when you feel energetic, relaxed, and pain-free that you would be able to use as an assessment or a benchmark for feeling that way? And then let's see, we've got Joanne. I'm going to be 136 pounds of weight of 147 by May 1, 20. Wait, did that move? There we go. Okay, the thing moved, so that got confusing for me. I'm going to be 136 pounds by January 1st, 2024 at 9 a.m. Okay, so let's look. Give me a thumbs up or in the chat if you say that's measurable and specific. Would we be able to tell? Yep, that is measurable and specific. And then Leanne, I will be my ideal weight of 147 by May 1 at noon. Also, again, thumbs up. Is that nice and specific? Is it measurable? Yeah, it is. Now, Kathy says, do daily nods and walk for a half. Is that a half hour each day? Okay, so let's see. That is measurable. Is it time bound though? What would we do to make it time bound? So something that I do with mine when I want to start a new habit is, by February 1st, I will be doing a daily nod and walking for a half hour each day. By February 1st at 12 noon, I will be. And that's how I know, is this a habit or not? So that's something you could do, Kathy, to make it time bound, like by whatever date that you want to start that habit. And so Jennifer, strength training classes at the gym 3 to 4 days a week. Okay, so and we've got Kathy wants to be more flexible. Now, Jen, I think we can make that more time bound. Like, when do you want to have this as a habit that you're doing this? I will be attending strength training classes at the gym 3 or 4 days a week by what day and time? And Cheryl is, I will be retired by January 1st, 2024. And it's good to add a time. So you could say midnight or 12 noon. And there, Kathy, you got that. So that's perfect. So this is great, everybody. These are really great goals. Okay, perfect. Now, so once we have our goals written, sometimes we put them somewhere safe, and we put them somewhere so safe that we literally forget about them. And back in 2013, I mentioned I had written them all out and that things changed a lot for me. And then I lost that book where I wrote them all, and it drove me crazy for a while. So I learned from that to now I put them on a sheet, and I have all my sheets in one place so I can always go back and look at them. So in order to really go to work on them, consider doing some of the following things to help you remember and review your goals often. Reread your goals 3 times per day. Create a goals book. I have a little sheet that I print out and I put them in a little plastic laminated sheet, and I keep them all together in a folder. Carry your most important goal with you everywhere you go. And that Jack Canfield calls that your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. And I love that name. And I've done that. I will have it written on a little index card. I use them for all my goals, and I carry it around as a reminder. Now, and identify any considerations, fears, and roadblocks that may need to be addressed for this goal. Okay, what could get in the way, and have a plan of action to navigate that. Now, if you have the book, The Success Principles, which is what this is all based on, and if you don't have the book, I recommend getting it, but you can read more about these considerations, fears, and roadblocks on page 84. So write that down if you have the book. And if you don't have the book, consider getting it. I call it the Success Bible. So to achieve a big goal, you're going to become a stronger person. You're going to develop new skills, new attitudes, and new capabilities. You're going to become a stronger person. Now you're going to stretch yourself, and in doing so, you are going to be strengthened forever. And here are some other points actually about setting goals. I recommend writing them down. I've done this. Now, writing down your goals increases your chance of success by an astronomical percent. Do you see that? It says 1100%. I don't know if that's a typo or if that's actually really the study, but it's dramatic. Now, only 4% of people who did not write down their goals followed through on their goals. And 44% of people who wrote down their goals followed through on their goals. That's an 11 times difference. And here's another thing. You write with your unconscious mind, and writing out your goals is a way of programming your mind to go get them. So I have spent a lot of time writing them out daily, because repetition is a great skill. So be persistent. And here's another interesting slide that we have. If you look at this, so there's all these different groups, and unwritten goals, about 43% of people attain them. But if you write them down, that jumps up to 60%. So there's a 17% improvement over that. And then there's group 4, where they actually wrote down the actions they were going to take. And then group 2, they made a commitment to someone. That is what I call creating accountability. They either declared their goal, shared their goal with someone else. So they improved their goal achievement. And then there was checking in. If you look at that number 1 column, the people who made progress reports to someone, who checked in with someone, well, they had a 76% goal achievement. And that's tremendous. That's huge. So think about that. Who would you like to make a commitment to with this goal, to declare accountability? And who could you, perhaps I call it an accountability partner, who might you partner with to create the accountability and create progress reports? Consider that it's just a way to get yourself towards that goal achievement in a better way. Okay. Now, okay. So remember that the important thing is not actually achieving the goals. It's what you learn and who you become in the process of achieving your goals. Okay. And that's what stays with you. So that is unleashing the power of goal setting. And now we're going to move into releasing the brakes, because it's one thing to set those goals, but it's another thing to have these self-limiting beliefs or ways that we can sabotage ourselves or hold ourselves back. So, creating affirmations for your goals will empower you to overcome negative attitudes and blocks to success. Part of your daily discipline to get you from where you are to where you want to be is to create affirmations for your goals. Have you ever been driving your car and suddenly you realize that you had left the emergency brake on? I know I've done that. Did you push down harder on the gas to overcome the drag of the brake? I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure you just released the brake and then you started to move forward and go faster. Most people are driving through life with their psychological emergency brake on. They hold on to negative images about themselves, or they suffer the effects of powerful experiences they haven't yet released, or they stay in a comfort zone entirely of their own making. They maintain inaccurate beliefs about reality or harbor guilt and self-doubt. When they try to achieve their goals, these negative images and pre-programmed comfort zones tend to cancel out their good intentions, no matter how hard they try. Successful people, on the other hand, have discovered that instead of using willpower as the engine to power their success, it's simply easier to release the brakes by letting go of and replacing their limiting beliefs and changing their self-images. To help you release the brakes and let go of limiting beliefs, I'd like to teach you about affirmations, including how to write and review your affirmations daily as a useful success habit you can use to release the brakes. Affirmations are positive statements which affirm or declare your desired goal as if it were already achieved. The dissonance produced in the mind by the statement can create the internal motivation required to achieve the goal. The power of the affirmation increases when it's linked to a visual image of your desired outcome. The beliefs, expectations, and thought patterns you currently hold can determine your self-esteem, how you perceive your reality, and how willing you are to participate in creating a life you dream of. For example, if you believe you're awkward and you can't learn to ski, that is what you will create when you attempt to ski. This is because you may be controlled by your beliefs. The good news is you can learn to override your self-defeating beliefs through the use of affirmations and positive visual imagery. If you continue to practice these techniques, you will not only transform your internal experience of yourself, you will also gradually modify your daily behavior to match your new beliefs. Now, Jack Canfield teaches about psychological reversal, and that's where, not sure how or why, when you repeat a belief, it goes in backwards. It's just doesn't go in the right way. So, to remove psychological reversal, he teaches that you tap on the karate chop of your hand 35 times before you repeat your affirmations, and that will remove psychological reversal. It's a very interesting thing. Figured I would just share it because just in case it feels like your affirmations aren't working for you, you could do that 35 times. Remove any psychological reversal, and then carry on with your affirmations. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go over some guidelines for creating affirmations. There are 8 guidelines to create effective affirmations. First is to be personal. You want to start with the words I am. If you're creating an affirmation for an entire group, it would be we are. Second is use the present tense. Describe what you want as though you already have it or it is already accomplished. So someone who wants a specific top of the line Peloton bike may write something like, I'm getting a new spin bike. But a better affirmation statement would be like this: I am enjoying riding my top of the line Peloton bike. Now, 3, you want to describe it in positive terms. So here's an example. I am getting free of my fear of flying. Notice that that's not positive. It mentions fear. It mentions what you don't want. So it would look much better if you said it like this: I am enjoying the thrill of flying. All right, now 4 is you want it to be brief, okay? Because you're repeating affirmations, and really long affirmations get a little challenging to do over and over. And you also want to be specific, because like vague goals, vague affirmations will also produce vague results. Not specific: I'm living in a large house on the ocean. Specific: I am living in a 4,000 square foot house in Malibu, California. And next is include an action word ending with ing. This just adds more life and more feeling. So instead of saying I express myself openly, honestly, and with exhilaration, say I'm exhilarated, expressing myself openly and honestly. And then include at least one dynamic feeling word, such as enjoying, adoring, thrilled, excited, exhilarated, peacefully, or feeling great. You might write, I am living at my perfect weight. I am expressing my true feelings. An upgrade to incorporate the dynamic feeling word would look like this: I am looking and feeling great at my perfect weight. I am enjoying expressing my true feelings with comfort and ease. And then the last thing, and this is an important one, is change yourself, not the other person. So this affirmation wouldn't work. It's not ideal. Johnny is keeping his desk clean. This statement will work. I am calmly and effectively communicating with Johnny about what I would like. Okay. So here's an example. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now earning $200,000 a year teaching the success principles. Now, here's another one. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in my 4,000 square foot home on Pacific Beach Highway in Malibu, California. An affirmation is a target when it is easy to say and it makes you smile with excitement. Sometimes the enthusiasm may be accompanied by mild discomfort. This discomfort is good because it usually means the affirmation is beginning to motivate you towards new, more self-nurturing and self-expressive actions. Now, when you have limited time, which is what I often find the case, you can use the following structure for an affirmation. I am so happy and grateful that I am now, and then you'd fill in the rest. Or I am so happy and grateful now that I am. For example, as you can see on the slide, I am so happy and grateful now that I am living in my 4,000 square foot home on Pacific Beach Highway in Malibu, California. So given everything you have just heard and following the guidelines that you'll see on page 18, 19 in the workbook, we're going to write an affirmation for your goal. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to complete it, and you can go back to that page 7 with your life area of health, and you can write down an affirmation or 2 that would support this goal that you created earlier. And you're going to have 2 minutes to do that. there anybody that would like to share their affirmation? You could put them in the chat or you could unmute. Kathy, fantastic.
Okay, so this is what I wrote about my health goal. I am so happy and grateful that I am honoring my goal and my body by doing the nods every morning and taking a half-hour walk around town every day at 1 p.m. Is it specific
Okay,
enough?
so I'm writing it down. So got the I am so happy and grateful that I'm honoring my goal and my body. And then
And honoring my goal and my body by doing the nods every morning and
okay.
taking a half-hour walk around town every day at 1 p.m.
Okay, and taking a half-hour walk.
Is it specific enough? I don't know.
Yep, I do believe it is. And you don't need the time on this because it's different than a goal. So
Oh, okay.
now what we're going to do is and you don't have to put the date in the affirmation, Cheryl. And Sherry has, I'm so excited for the extra 3,000 a month in my bank account. Okay, very good. So what we're going to do is together, what I'd like you to do is go to, let's see, which page was it? The guidelines for the affirmations are on page 18. So let's go through this one. So Kathy had, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am honoring my goal and my body by doing the nods every morning and taking a half-hour walk around town. So first, is it personal? Show me a thumbs up if you say it's personal. I say it's personal. Yeah. Okay. Is it in the present tense?
Yes.
Yep. Thumbs up. It's in the present tense. Is it in positive terms? It is. It's in positive terms, right? Is it brief? It's on the border. It's moderate, right? It's not necessarily brief, but it's not too long. And it's definitely specific, right? Right? Honoring her body, doing nods, and taking a half-hour walk around town. Now, we want to include an ing word. So we do that, right? We've got doing and taking. But the one thing that I'm seeing that isn't here yet is include a dynamic feeling word, right? Something. So what do you think?
Like I'm feeling energized.
There you go. Yeah. And then read it again once you put that in there and tell me what you notice the difference is by putting that word energized in there.
So read it out loud. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that would be awesome.
So I am so happy and grateful that I am honoring my goal and my body by doing the nods every morning and taking a walk around town every day. I'm feeling energized. It's
okay.
It makes you feel, by saying that, you sit a little straighter, you feel a little bit more energized for me.
Yep. And I wonder if you put the feeling energized, I'm honoring my goal and my body. So I wonder if we took out my goal and just said, honoring my body and feeling energized, doing the nods every morning and taking a half-hour walk around town. That would shorten it a little bit and make it a little easier for you to repeat.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Good.
Okay. Because it does make a difference having that energized word in there. And let me see, we have, I'm so excited for the extra $3,000 a month in my bank account. Sherry, that's good. I think that there could be an ing word in there. But it's all the other points I think are in there. And Joanne's, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm 136 pounds. I enjoy moving freely and feeling strong, fit, and vital. I love having clear, healthy, toned skins. That's all beautiful. And it definitely has the I enjoy moving freely. Good. And then Natasha, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living with health, energy, and abundance with ease and relaxation. Okay, very good. Thank you everyone for sharing. That was great. Excellent. Now, let's talk about leveraging the power of your affirmations. So, to leverage the power of your affirmations, consider using the following strategies. Repeat your affirmations 3 times per day. The best times are first thing in the morning, in the middle of the day for course correction, and around bedtime. Ideally, right before you go to sleep at night, because whatever you rehearse and read before you go to bed tends to make it into your unconscious, and it's a great way to plant some powerful seeds. It is better to work consistently and in depth with a few affirmations than to occasionally repeat a lot of them. If you're in a private place, you can read each affirmation aloud. If not, read it silently to yourself. Now, when I repeat my affirmations, I will do the finger tapping. Now, most of you have done some tapping with me and you know how to do the finger tapping. I will repeat my affirmation, the main one that I'm focusing on, 50 times and repeat it each time per finger. So I'll just say one affirmation as I tap on this finger, and I'll do it for 50 times. And that is a really great way to rehearse, repeat, and because you're tapping, you can, I think of it as you're releasing anything that contradicts your affirmation. It's helping you process things that you might, I call it the peanut gallery or the yeah buts that might come up. So tapping while you do that affirmation is just a really simple way to add it in. Now, after repeating the affirmation, close your eyes and visualize yourself experiencing what that affirmation describes, what you're affirming. See it just as if you would see it if you were looking at it through your eyes, as if it were happening around you. You could see it as a movie. That would work even better. And as you visualize, add a soundtrack. Hear any sounds that you might hear when you're experiencing the successful achievement of what your affirmation describes. Include other important people in your life congratulating you and telling you how pleased they are with your success. That always feels really good. Also, as you're visualizing, feel the feelings that you will feel when you achieve this success. The stronger the feelings, the more powerful the process becomes for you. And if you have difficulty creating the feelings, you can affirm, I am enjoying creating powerful feelings as I effectively work with my affirmations. So then you say your affirmation again and repeat the process with the next affirmation. And it takes a little bit. So that's why I focus on anywhere from 3 to 5. I used to do it with all of them. I would do for each area of that, all those 7 areas, I would write down 3 goals, like a short term, long term, and a medium term one. And that got to be a lot. That was 21 affirmations. So now I'll focus on 3 to 5 specific ones, the ones that I want to put the focus in. So do it any way that it works for you, but it takes a little time. If the more you do, the more time it takes. Now, repetition, repetition, repetition is key. The more you do this, the more you focus on them, the more you're telling your unconscious what you want. Now, additional tips on how to use affirmations. You can write them on 3x5 index cards, and that makes it easier to sit down and repeat them, right? You just pull out the card, you repeat the affirmation, close your eyes, visualize it, move on to the next card. That's a really effective way. You go through the set, saying them and visualizing them 3 times a day. You can print them all on one piece of paper and laminate it. I do that with my goals. I use the index cards for the affirmations. And what I like to do is leave them in different places in the house. I'll write them all out and I'll have different stacks of the index cards. So if I'm in this room, I can practice them there. Some are in my office. That's another, I just try to set it up so it's as easy as possible to do it whenever I feel like it. So be creative with it. Now you can post the index cards or even post-it notes around your house with your affirmations written on them. I do that also. You can post pictures of the things you want around your house or your room. You can add images of yourself to the picture. This is great for a vision board too, right? Create a vision board of all the things that you're affirming. Read or repeat your affirmations during what is often considered wasted time, such as waiting in line, exercising, and driving. So I do have them on my phone so that I can repeat them when I'm out too. I keep a little notes file in my iPhone with my affirmations. You can audio record your affirmations on a voice memo and listen to them while you exercise, work, drive, or fall asleep. And you can even create a screensaver on your phone or your computer with your affirmations. In short, the important psychological premise and effect here is all images or mental pictures tend to produce corresponding physical conditions and reactions. Every image or picture which we hold in our mind will create a physical reaction in our body and will thereby affect our experience and our behavior. So, what are you waiting for? Let's put affirmations to use and then release your brakes in achieving your goals. Motivation is like a fire. Unless you continue to add fuel to it, it goes out. Napoleon Hill. So don't leave them sitting around too much. Use them every day. Here's another one. You reprogram the unconscious 5/6 of your brain best when you are in a very emotional state. You're creating new synaptic connections by repetition and association. When you are in an emotional state, more neurotransmitters are released, which cause more proteins to form in the dendrites of the neurons, which cause more dendrite spiny protuberances to grow and make connections. So practice, practice, practice. And create that emotion in there. I find that when I practice my affirmations and do my visualization, creating conversations with others helps me create more emotion, but play around with it and see what it takes for you to create that emotion. So thank you everyone for attending. Did you learn something? Did you get something out of this? Let me know in the chat. It's really great to have you all here today. I'm so happy and grateful, feeling energized to be retired. That's great, Cheryl. Sherry, it is recorded. I wasn't going to put up a replay, but I'll see if I get you a link. Good. Cheryl, you love the affirmations. Me too. Good. Natasha, I'm glad you're able to make it. Oh, Joanne, that's awesome to hear that goals aren't so scary anymore. Really great. Love that. And Shrishti, very good, great suggestions. Good. I'm glad you'll put them into action. Well, thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you and I had fun presenting this. These are definitely near and dear to my heart because my life really changed when I started writing out goals. So, and I know that will work the same for you. All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I will see you in the Facebook group and we'll be doing some tapping on Friday for those of you who are coming to the Facebook Live.
Great job, Nicola. Thanks so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. You have a
Awesome.
fantastic day.
You too. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Leanne, thank you for helping with being co-host and with admitting everyone. I appreciate it. You're on mute.
You did wonderful.